It's your man James, Mr. One Treasures, back again with some more video action for you. Today it's another stroll into the annals of the past as I do another episode of Why It's Great. For those of you who aren't familiar with it, if you're new here, Why It's Great is where I take a comic book from the past out of my own personal collection. And I talk about why I think it's so great and why you yourself should want to check it out. So let's get ready to head on into it. Before we do that, I want to thank you all for joining me today. I hope you're having a good one. Also, I want to say to be sure to give a like down here if you like what you hear from this little discussion we're about to have, because I always like to help those algorithms if you can. Also, please, if you have any comments, drop them down below. I always love hearing what folks got to say. You know, you guys made some real good comments in the last few here. I've really been enjoying that. It's made a lot more fun for me hearing back from you guys. So please, if you got any comments, drop them down below. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe now so you don't miss out any of all the content that is being done around here. It's, you know, I've been working like a mad fiend trying to create regular content for you guys. So give me a help out there and give me a subscribe. And if you have subscribed, share out a link or two so others can come in and join us and become part of the fun that we're having around here. So again, I thank you all for joining me today. And with that, let's get right into our book. Today we're going all the way back to 1982. And I think this might be the oldest one I've reviewed so far. And this one is The Incredible Hulk number 273. And if you guys saw my last one that I did a week ago, then you guys know that I'm taking this sort of jaunt into stuff with a little bit of a horror tinge to it, because it's my favorite time of the year. It's a Halloween month, so got to go a little horror-esque on you guys. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to get ready here and pick up our book. And what we'll do is first get me off the key here, because we don't need to see my face. And then we share the screen and share the book. And here we are, Incredible Hulk number 273 from 1982. Great cover here by Al Milgrom. I think you can see right here from the jump. You got the Hulk out here and some tall foliage here, and surrounding him seem to be like some kind of like critters. Now, is this like the Incredible Shrinking Hulk? Is this like bugs that he's been shrank, or what's going on here? Well, we're going to see that in a minute here. But again, like the cover, I like the cover design, like the close-up of the Hulk with the nice bright colors, and again with those cool backgrounds, really just pushes the Hulk right up into your face. And this is written by the great Bill Mantlo, one of my favorite comic book writers of all time. Art by the always great Sal Buscema. This is like right during the heart of his 10-year run with the character, so definitely one that's worth checking out there. And let's get on into it here. As you can see here, now this is during the period of time, and again right at the very start, in fact, when Bruce Banner could control the change. You know, he could will himself to being the Hulk. It wasn't triggered by his fear or anxiety, but it was triggered by his mind. He could control the Hulk. And we can see right here, in the North Canadian woods, the gamma-radiated Goliath tries to come to grips with the knowledge that he is now both man and monster, only to learn the bitter lesson: once a Hulk, always a Hulk. You know, and I like how they worked the title of the story right into the little captions here. Great stuff. And you can see here we got Sasquatch there, you know, and I just love this. You know, they just fought the Wendigo and they won, and he goes, talking about like how we didn't keep him trapped until, you know, his pal Shaman from Alpha Flight shows up to use magic to change the Wendigo back to human. And then, but then the Hulk goes, let him wake. I'll just smash him back to sleep all over again. With the power of the Incredible Hulk, I can do anything. And again, I just love this great splashy image. You know, you got a Hulk in like contemplation, not something you were used to seeing at the time, and just a lot of interesting stuff. The great Sal Buscema. Like I said, there's a reason his tenure on the book lasted for so long, and just great splash images like this is part of that reason why. So they start to talk about what's happened to him, how he's changed, and how he now controls the Hulk, and he says how in the last several issues, of course, of the story, he's been subjected to more and more gamma radiation. He thinks that's probably why the Banner persona now controls the Hulk, is because of this. But apparently those treatments, coupled with the meds dosage I see while on Earth, have had a cumulative effect, producing this new change in me. So you see, this is right here. And again, here's your footnote telling you what issues to watch, what issues to go back and check out. And so Sasquatch says, hey, why not use your power since you control it now and the Hulk is no longer a savage threat, why don't you use your power to help humanity? And he says that was always what Rick Jones was hoping for. And he goes, I don't know. I guess all I ever considered was ridding myself of the curse of becoming the Hulk so I could live a normal life. I never wanted to be a superhero, And then, but then you can see right here, he's starting to get annoyed because the authorities are encroaching, on him, and he's like, what's the deal here? And he goes, orders from Ottawa. The Hulk is still classified as a menace, and you can see here, Banner starts to get a little perturbed. You start to see some of the old Hulk coming out. Yes, the Hulk, not me, not Bruce Banner. And you can see, his tensions rise. We have to hold him any way we have to. He's wreaked holy havoc on Canada before. He won't get the chance to do it again. And so then, in on all this tension in the air, he lashes out. And of course, what happens. We all know what's going to do. And you can see he even starts sounding like the old Hulk. Bullets cannot hurt Hulk. Nothing can hurt Hulk. But Hulk can hurt you. He sounds just like the old Hulk now. Has Banner lost it? After finally gaining control, has he lost control? And is it back to being the Savage Hulk once again? Well, it certainly seems that way. But I love, again, the classic 6-panel design here that Sal Buscema uses. I love that, to show each individual thing. And you can see Sasquatch is here just trying to bring things, calming him down, but he's saying, blast it all, I tried to avert this. I saw while fighting the Wendigo how easily Bruce Banner slipped into the savagery of the Hulk. So he knows what's going on. It's like they're just making matters worse. But again, they don't stop. And just a simple foot stomp. And again, I love this, the way it sends everyone flying, showing you the power of the Hulk. It is you who do not trust Hulk, who make Hulk a monster. And so he takes off. He leaps away. Sasquatch wishing he would have stuck around. Maybe he could have helped him. But, alas, some things are never meant to be. So, and then as we go back here, we get a little side trip to some stuff that was happening right before the Hulk was taken off world a couple issues ago. Rick Jones here is dying from gamma radiation poisoning because he tried to turn himself into a Hulk to help the Hulk in a battle. And there's this alien woman here who's like basically a documentarian of her planet. She's trying to do a documentary on the Hulk. And Betty Ross is there. She's complaining, she's this creature just standing around while Rick is dying. We got to do something. So she reaches into her thing and she gets some stuff out and she creates a ship based from a mask. And they head off to Gamma Base where they think they can help Rick because he's dying from the gamma radiation poisoning. And so they take off. That's our little side jaunt for our little future stories. Our little subplot with what's going on with the other characters in the Hulk sphere. And then we get this here as they zoom by. They're seen by someone in the Air Force, but they're like, we didn't see nothing. We're not reporting this. Let's not say we did. I retire from the service in 3 months. I don't want to go out any sooner after being quoted on the front page of the National Enquirer. See, again, the whole thing of like the UFO thing, like you think people are kooks when they say them, so they just say anything. And something that they're carrying, here in Earth's upper atmosphere, the U.S. Air Force research plane trails a sensitive radiation scoop. The purpose of the scoop is to gather data on the planet's ozone layer. Today, it has gathered something else, and it's X-ray from the UFOs. So again, once again, now we got 2 subplots cooking. We got the return of the UFOs, and then what's going to happen to Rick Jones. So right here, just in a few pages, we've got the action, we've got the adventure, we've got mysteries, we've got set up for future stories. I mean, just look at how jam-packed in just 8 pages. We're only on page 8 so far, and look at all the story Mantello has packed in. You wouldn't get this much story in a 20-page book today, and he does it in 8. It's crazy. But of course, this is the Hulk's book, so we get back to the Hulk, who's just leaping away, and then eventually, by calming down, Banner reasserts control, and he goes, I've done it. The Hulk's rage has subsided. I'm Bruce Banner again, but where am I? And he's in the middle of a leap, and he's like, good Lord, I'm 1,000 feet above the ground. I'm going to be killed. And then boom, he hits the ground. But look at this. He comes out Well, what do you know? I just love it, and I love that expression. It goes from complete fear to like just, yeah, this is pretty cool. I like that. So again, you see Bruce Banner starting to get into this idea of having control over the Hulk, and so he starts walking around, and he's wondering if maybe, is there anything that can hurt me while I'm the Hulk? I'm beginning to doubt it. In fact, I wonder why I even raised the point. I know of the amazing things the Hulk has done over the years, things that has gained him a reputation as the mightiest mortal on the face of the earth. Now that that mighty mortal has the intellect and emotions of Dr. Bruce Banner, I can't wait to tell Rick and Betty. So he's contemplating on what he should do now. I must return to the desert, reassure them, tell them the wonderful news that the world need no longer fear the Incredible Hulk. So he's like trying to figure out where he's going to go with this now. Now it's really dawning on him that he is in control. And, and he comes across some lumberjacks, and you see them cutting stuff down. The guy calls him a blowhard, and he goes, "I'll use make fun. Just imagine if I fill my air with lungs, and he could just blow the trees over." And that's exactly what the Hulk does. Just a quick little breath, and boom, half the forest goes down. As you can see here, and you can see Banner is enjoying this. So that's what it feels like to have power and use it to help. Maybe Rick was right after all. Maybe the world can use the Hulk not bent on destruction. Not that the Hulk ever intended the harm he caused. He was usually goaded into it by the malevolent machinations of others. So he's looking at the future now, trying to decide, he's thinking maybe he doesn't have to destroy the Hulk. And this is a big change, because if you've been reading the book at this time, all Banner was, I want to cure myself. I want to get rid of this curse. I want to be rid of the Hulk. And now because of this change, he's starting to look at it from a whole different perspective. So he goes and he grabs some clothes so he can head off in. The same brain guides both. One can benefit the world through scientific discovery, while the other can do great good by virtue of his incredible strength. A new day is dawning in the life of the Incredible Hulk. And so it's like kind of like, again, he tries to have this hopefulness for the future. And as Banner goes on, he comes across this town. He goes, farm country, hectare after hectare of wheat, Canada's breadbasket. So he goes into town and he gets grabbed by the people, and at first, he goes, I could become the Hulk, smash them all. No, what am I thinking? I'm not a monster. I'm not. He's almost like he's reminding himself not to just freak out anymore and let the Hulk run wild. And so the people decide, oh wait, he's not what you're not one of them. He goes, who are they? What is it you're afraid of? And the people tell them, they show them, this area is carved out of their wheat fields. He goes, the locust man, the locust from the stars, and they tell the tale of how this alien ship shows up above just a day or two ago, and then these creatures looking like locusts, they said, come out and start ravaging the fields, just eating it all. And the people try to stop them. They do a little damage, but then the aliens have powers of their own, and they quickly subdue the humans. They can't fight them. And so the Banner sees all this, and he says, you'll be killed if you don't retreat. And it's like, again, just we'll die anyway if the crop's destroyed. Better to die defending it than to wait for a slow starvation. And so Banner is like emboldened by their courage, by their determination. I've got to help them. And so I love this right here. Great sequence right here. No, not me, not Bruce Banner. And so he uses his mind to trigger the change. And I love this. I can almost hear in my head the music from the old Hulk television series with Lou Ferrigno. When Banner would change in there, and you'd see like the close-up shots of clothes ripping and stuff like that and busting. And I just love that. That's what this reminds me of. I love that so much that they put that in there to give you that touch. So even if you weren't a big comic book fan, but you still knew the Hulk and you saw this, you know exactly what that is. I just love that. A lot of fun right there. So now the Hulk leaps into the fray. Have no fear, friends. The Hulk won't allow the aliens to destroy your crops. And so the Hulk jumps in, And he basically tells them that he's the Hulk and he fears nothing. He goes, but then so they attack, and then the Hulk gets a little angry. He goes, I should have added that though I'm not totally impervious to pain, it does not immobilize me. Rather, it usually galvanizes me to action and anger. As I'm sure I have said countless times in the past, the madder the Hulk gets, the stronger he gets. And I just love that. Just again, the classic line as he just smashes his way right through a whole bunch of the aliens. Then all of a sudden, the ship comes in and attacks, and it causes the fields to be set afire. So while the humans try to put out the flames, the aliens figure it's time to take off, and the Hulk isn't going to let him. He goes, "No, you're not going to escape that easily. And that's the damage you've wrought." And so he comes tearing in. There's no metal on or off Earth that can keep me from reaching you. So he's going to town. This is Banner using the power of the Hulk to protect humanity from an alien invasion, it seems. And you can see the aliens aren't really much of a threat to him. You hurt me, turnabout is fair play. He busts up all their stuff. Um, knocks them into this bin right here, and you can see what's this stuff that's falling out, and it's seeds. And then all of a sudden, the telepathic voice says, "Yes, Earthling, seed." And so the Hulk is caught off guard by this, and he turns around, and it's the queen of the insectoids who is speaking to him, and and she immobilizes him using some kind of mental power. And she goes, "It was necessary to mobilize you to calm your rage so that you would be receptive to understanding the purpose of our mission." And the whole, she says that they came to the planet. That it turns out that their planet was one that the soil had gone bad and they could no longer grow food on their home planet. So they flew out into space, trying to find worlds that had soil that would work. And the worlds in our system had been farmed out. The soil would no longer nurture life. To assuage our hunger, we had to travel ever further afield. And he goes, stealing the food of others so that you could survive. He goes, taking what we needed for our immediate sustenance, yes, but paying for it with the super seed developed by our scientists long ago. Once planted, it would have yielded an abundance of feed for your planet for millennia to come. And you can just see as he comes to this dawning realization of what's actually been going on. You can see right here, he's the posture, the facial expression. You can see he's not happy with what is going down here. And he goes, "Yes, if you can grow this seed, why didn't you do it on your planet?" He goes, "Because I told you our soil was depleted. We needed a planet whose soil wasn't depleted the way ours was." And so their plan was to plant the seeds after they had taken up all the old grain that was there. They would plant the new seed and teach the humans how to harvest it. And then with the first harvest, hunger would have become a memory on Earth. So like this would have been the end of the world hunger. And the whole time, you tell me all this in the past tense. Can it still be done? Alas, no. Exposed to air, the super seed rapidly degenerates. You, oh man, destroyed the airtight canister in which it was contained. And then now the realization really comes in. You can really see it here. He goes, I thought Earth was under attack. I fought back. I didn't know. And no, you did not. And your savage ignorance has deprived your world of success from the relentless scourge of hunger for generations. One day we may return with a new cargo of super seed. And they send the Hulk back and say, perhaps you and your kind will greet us more wisely then. And then they take off, and then the Hulk turns to the townspeople and he goes, "You're going to tell them?" And they're like, "No, we heard it too. The insectoid queen was in all our minds." And he goes, "Then you know that once they cleared your fields, they would have planted a richer harvest here than any man has ever known. And I, thinking I was doing great good, inadvertently destroyed that dream for eons to come." And then now again, this is the moral here at the end. We fought the insectoids too, mister. We were just as ignorant, just as blind, but they could have stopped us. Nothing could stop you. With as much power as you've got, you'd better learn to use it wisely. Otherwise, you're never going to be anything but a Hulk. And it's like, wow, so here's Bruce Banner, in trying to use the power of the Hulk for good, ended up doing the exact opposite out of ignorance. He perceived a threat where none existed and let the power of the Hulk do the thinking for him, thinking he could just do whatever he wanted because he had the power. And here he learns that, this is kind of like the Spider-Man thing. With great power, there must also come great responsibility. And this is the harsh lesson that is learned. I just love the expressiveness that Sal Buscema gets here at the very end in the Hulk's body language and facial expressions. Just the expressiveness of really getting that across. You can see like the sorrow and the remorse in what he's done. He only wanted to help, but yet he made a mistake, and it turned out the exact opposite. The monsters weren't the aliens from space. It was the ignorance of the people and the Hulk that was the true monster. And that is what made him a monster. Not the fact that he has great power, not the fact that he fought, not the fact that he could get angry, but the fact that he let the ignorance overrule all other better judgment. It's a great little tale here. I love the way that Mantlo approached this whole thing to flip the script. You saw the aliens. I mean, and that's something too I noticed is you see the aliens, and they look monstrous. They're like creepy crawlers, like something that all of us mere mortals, we hate creepy crawlers. They always give us the heebie-jeebies for some reason. It's something in our lizard brains that just you see those multi-legged, crusted, antenna, driven creatures, and you're just like, ugh, gross. And so you immediately think that these are the bad guys because they look so creepy. And yet they were the heroes in this story, not the Hulk. And that's like how you flip the script on you, and you didn't even see it coming. And again, you saw how I showed you in the beginning of the book, they had all these other subplots, Banner talking about what it's going to mean to have the power of the Hulk at his command, and, the action where he had to face off against the big, he faced the bigotry in the beginning of the story with those mounted police who shot at him because they just feared the Hulk so much, even though they saw Bruce Banner was in control. It didn't matter. They said, no, the Hulk is still classified as a threat, so we have to go after it. And out of bigotry and ignorance, they just attacked. And that created that whole situation there. And then Banner does the same thing here. So like the very lesson that he should have learned from it happening to him, he didn't. And that's kind of like a really great little moral in the tale here. And I like I said, I just love Sal Buscema's work. I always have. This scene right here with the transformation, classic. It's totally classic stuff. I love that. He always did the greatest transformations for Banner, I think. And then get back here to some Hulk action. Like I said, just the foot stomp, that creating the earthquake effect. That's just awesome. And again, like I said, that opening splash page right here. Once a Hulk, always a Hulk. And that's kind of the lesson he's learned, the bitter lesson, as it says here. He was treated with bigotry and ignorance just after this page, and yet he himself did the same thing to others that were seen as monsters. So it's like, who's really the monster? And again, it's like a really fun way to kind of spotlight how the character himself is seen, and then how he himself could make that same kind of mistake. It's just a very well told story. Bill Mantlo was always great. I think his work on the Hulk is probably his best work. And I know a lot of people might say Cloak and Dagger, he created them. Yeah, they're great characters. He's done a lot of good Spider-Man work. Of course, I love Rom, but I think pound for pound, when I think about all the work Bill Mantlo did, his best work was always on the Hulk, and it's for stories like this, great stories with a great moral compass behind them, where you can really see the morality he's trying to get across in the characters. And again, as you saw, even with Bruce Banner in control, he still sounded like the Hulk. He didn't sound like some foreign character we've never seen before. This is the Hulk, and even with a change as great as Banner controlling the power, he still felt like the Hulk when he was in action. And that's, again, that's Bill Mantlo's great thing, the ability to get any character's voice just right. And that's why I love this story. I love the morality in it. I love the little twist. I mean, it almost had like a Twilight Zone kind of feel to it, because I know there was an old episode of the Twilight Zone where like an alien came to Earth who looked human, and the people in the town kills him, and they find out that he was there to deliver a message, a gift to the people, and it was a cure for cancer. And because they killed him and destroyed the note, they've now lost the cure to cancer for all of humanity. And I think that's what this story is here, is like, just how our ignorance and just, our surface level thoughts of just, reflex, because we see it, we see something and we think it's one thing when it's really the other, because we don't stop and think about it, we just react, and how letting emotion ride your judgment is always a bad thing, because it never really turns out very well in the end. Again, this is just a beautiful told story, and very well done. So that great cover of an angry Hulk surrounded by shadowed, alien bugs, just kind of a great image. Just it's just a beautiful story, and I definitely think, again, perfectly in time for Halloween. It's a great little morality tale to have during the month of horror, I think. So definitely check it out. It shouldn't be too expensive. You could probably get a decent copy of this for like around $10. You get a very nice copy of this. I mean, it's not a key of any kind. It is early in the beginnings of the Banner control of the Hulk, but it's not a key issue of any kind. So I think you definitely can find a very good copy of this for like $10. It shouldn't be very expensive. And again, you could, as you saw there, you can let a kid read this. You don't have to worry about like there being inappropriate material or whatnot. Just a great, fun, action-filled story with subplots and drama and a moral at the end. I mean, just beautiful stuff. I mean, this is what superhero comics were supposed to be, and you can't go wrong with this one. So I would say check out the Hulk 273 from 1982. It's a classic issue, chock full of story. More story in these 22 pages than you would get in like 80 pages of a modern comic. So definitely one worth your time and worth check out. So there we go, Hulk 273, another one in the books here. Another why it's great. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Pardon me. Let me know what you guys think. Did you think I'm on point about Bill Mantelow's story abilities? Did you like the morality that was shown in the story, or do you think that it was too heavy-handed or whatever? Drop some comments and let me hear what you got to say, because I'm always interested to hear what the folks have to say about this stuff. As for stuff coming up, well, I do have a what's in the box coming up soon, because I'm expecting my delayed Discount Comic Book Service order to come in. So I'll have that for you probably very shortly here. And then, of course, some other stuff, like I'm working on more Why It's Great, and I might even be working on something for Halloween. I don't know how it's going to work yet. Got to figure it out. Got to check with some stuff, see how the timeline and my schedule works with things, but I might try to do a little something special for Halloween. And of course, if I can line it up, I'm trying to get another artist to do another sequential art showcase with me, so you can have that as well. So again, lots of stuff going on as always around here. Lots of great videos coming. So got plenty of stuff for you guys come up in the future for you to check out. And of course, there will be another Why It's Great sooner than later as well. So you have that to look forward to. And I want to thank you all for joining me today. I hope you got some fun out of this. I hope you got some enjoyment, and I hope you'll be back to it next time when I got some more stuff for you, which will be very soon. And until next time, take care.